Plans for a new temporary warming shelter is approved. The student mental health crisis is on the rise. We'll tell you where you can find resources, and energy drinks might be causing more harm than good. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Roddy.
And I'm Carolynn Felling. We begin tonight with what's been a big controversy in Norman, where the homeless should go during the cold winter months. Tonight, we know the Norman City Council has agreed on temporary warming shelter. OU Nightly's Gabriela Tumani is live at the Norman City Hall with the details. Gabriela.
Yeah, that's right, guys. As the cold weather approaches, Norman residents are concerned with the amount of people without housing left on the streets. I was here at the Norman City Council meeting on Tuesday, where community members gathered to urge the city to help those without a home. The city of Norman announced on October 7th the council would be voting on food and shelter to be considered a temporary warming shelter from early November to March 2023.
I will be voting yes tonight on this because I think it's the right thing to do for the majority and for the betterment of the city of Norman.
The contract for consideration was ultimately approved by the council at a cost of $305,298 from the city's general fund, with 40 beds available. But before the applauses of joy, several community members took the podium to urge council members to vote yes.
If we don't have shelter, we're going to have many more deaths this year than we did last year. I'm tired of burying people because it's cold outside. Please help us pass this. Thank you.
Several council members also voiced their concerns about an increase in homelessness in the city after COVID-19 and the lack of affordable housing in Oklahoma.
They don't have family. They don't have any place else they can turn to. They have food and shelter, they have COC partners, and their resources are limited.
It's really rough. And I've also been fortunate to be able to stay at the warming shelter before it closed. Also been assisted here and there with some hotel rooms. But sometimes I've spent nights out there, and I know a lot of people that haven't been able to benefit from things that I've been able to benefit from who are out there every night.
A lot of people like to make a lot of barriers, make things really complicated, to really just taking care of each other, and that's what we're all about.
I look at it as even when you have people in society that are kind of working against you, both people are going to do the right thing. And so I'm very proud of the City Council for the members that voted in favor of this.
The approval for the warming shelter passed 8-1, with Ward 3 Council member Carolynn voting no. The location of the new warming shelter is 109 West Gray Street, in close proximity to the police department. Reporting live for OU Nightly, Gabriela Tumani.
Thanks, Gabriela. And it's another terrible day for Oklahoma allergy sufferers.
Coy Taylor has a first look at our forecast. Coy, are lots of people feeling it?
Yes, Carolyn, I'm feeling it myself here. You can see we have a high weed allergen, ragweed, the main culprit. That usually hangs around from the start of school until around our first freeze, and we're still a couple weeks away from that first freeze. This evening, 70s as we approach sunset, and then we'll fall into the 60s afterwards. But a pleasant evening if you want to get outside and maybe walk the dog. Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Coy. Oklahoma Senator James Lankford joined 16 Republican senators and 26 House of Representative members, expressing their opposition to abortions that take place at the VA hospitals. The group issued a public letter against any VA that performs abortions in the state where abortions are restricted or outlawed, and that includes Oklahoma. The letter calls on Secretary of Veteran Affairs to take action to force VA hospitals to follow the state laws.
And the January 6th committee comes to a decision with former President Donald Trump. Mecca Thompson has that and the rest of today's headlines from the News Center.
Thanks, Bella. The January 6th committee voted to subpoena former President Donald Trump in today's hearing. The panel argued that Trump was directly involved in the bid to overturn the 2020 election, and they released new evidence that Trump had a premeditated plan to declare victory no matter the election result. As they've come to this decision, the committee cannot bring legal charges against Donald Trump. Parkland school shooter Nicholas Cruz avoided a death sentence today after pleading guilty to murder in a Florida school mass shooting.
It is established beyond a reasonable doubt the existence of the aggravating factor. Nicholas Cruz knowingly created a great risk of death to many persons. Yes.
Cruz is set to be formally sentenced November 1st. And the Social Security Administration announced today that recipients will receive an annual cost of living adjustment of 8.7% next year. This will be the largest increase since 1981, and the spike will boost retirees' monthly payments by an estimated $146. The hefty increase is aimed at helping their estimated 70 million recipients contend with the high inflation that is hitting the U.S. Carolyn and Bella, if you're in the mood for a scare or a scream, the hit movie series Halloween Ends was released today and is now showing in theaters.
Thanks, Mecca. New concerns tonight about the mental health of college students. The Mayo Clinic reports at least 44% of students say they are facing some type of mental health issue. Here in Norman, some students say they struggle with finding the help they need. OU Nightly reporter Cameron Joyner is coming to us live with more on where to find resources. Cameron?
Yeah, guys, 1 in 3 college students suffer from severe anxiety or depression, according to the Mayo Clinic. And at OU, lots of students might just not know where to go or how to ask for help. But those resources might be a lot closer than they think. I'm here outside of the Community Mental Health Center, which is just a 9-minute drive from campus. And they offer life-changing services that are easily accessible to all students. College is stressful. For students with mental health disorders, it's even worse.
But for too long, behavioral health issues, it's been out of sight, out of mind.
Valeria Carruthers started her therapy journey with the University Counseling Center, like many at OU.
Scheduling is really thin. You really have to schedule out if you want to see a therapist.
And students are allotted only 12 sessions per calendar year.
Whenever you do see them, it's mainly spending time catching them up on what's been happening and less time getting down to what you need help with.
Goddard Health Center told me in a statement that the UCC simply isn't designed to provide long-term care, but the Community Mental Health Center is.
It doesn't hurt to simply walk in the door over at the Community Mental Health Center. We're going to be able to take care of you when you come in and start you on a path to receiving services.
Cost of services can be a concern for students looking for those mental health resources off campus.
It just depends on what they offer, and especially at what price.
But we also have outpatient services that anybody can access regardless of ability to pay.
They take most major insurances, but it's not required to seek a counselor.
But there's no reason to wait for months. We can't do that. These diseases are serious.
Dismuke says that lots of new funding and changes are coming for the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health, but help is still available now. Remember that the Mental Health Center is here at 909 Alameda Street, and the crisis hotline 988 is always available. Reporting live for OU Nightly, I'm Cameron Joyner.
Thanks, Cameron. And in other healthcare news, find out why you might be paying more at your next doctor's visit.
That's right. Liv Walbeck will tell us more coming up in Health Beat.
And why one popular drink may not give you the benefits you expect. Next on OU Nightly, learn why you should maybe switch to coffee. The cost of food, gas, and other essentials are rising due to inflation, and your healthcare prices are next. Liv Walbeck has that story in Health Beat.
That's right, with inflation rising, your doctor's visits could cost more than usual. Experts are saying many people can expect to pay more for health insurance and out-of-pocket payments in 2023. While insurance premiums are set in advance to last for 12 months, there are new contracts in place. You'll want to take a close look at your plan during your open enrollment period to be aware of all upcoming costs and price hikes. And cold and flu season is picking up, but Pfizer has your back with a stronger vaccine. Early clinical data shows that Pfizer's updated COVID vaccine has substantially increased antibody responses against subvariants. Pfizer saw a significant antibody response just 1 week after 900 individuals received the updated vaccine. The vaccine is currently seeking full approval. And a little birdie told me that it's Bella's birthday. So from one birthday girl to another, happy birthday, Bella.
Happy birthday to you too, Liv, and I hope you're choosing healthy drinks tonight for your 21st. Because midterms are coming up and you may be tempted to pick up an energy drink, but science says that's not the healthiest choice. College students are a key demographic for energy drink use. Harmful side effects like sleep disruption, increased blood pressure, and more are being reported at higher numbers, with energy drink users opposed to coffee drinkers. However, it's a risk many students are willing to take.
I think in most cases it works, though sometimes I don't feel the effect, which is again why I don't really fear that there might be any consequences or any negative consequences. Yeah.
Experts say that moderation is key when consuming energy drinks.
And when OU Nightly returns, find out how high school athletes can now profit off their name, image, and likeliness.
And there has been a drought in Oklahoma causing fire threats. Has the rain been helping at all, Coy?
The rain has been helping a little bit, Bella, but we're still under drought. We have more rain chances this weekend, and we'll have an updated look at that drought monitor. Weather is next. We welcome you back to this Thursday afternoon of OU Nightly, and take a look behind me. The mums are in bloom across the South Oval. That can only mean one thing. It's homecoming week here in Norman, Oklahoma. I snapped this picture earlier this afternoon. Vibrant reds, that's for sure. Here's another picture. It's the red mums that are blooming right now. The white ones, we're expecting those in the next couple of days. We have flower buds on them, but a live look over the South Oval right now. You can see splotches of red as those shadows elongate as we descend towards sunset tonight. Sunny and 75 at Max Westheimer Airport here in Norman. Northwest wind at about 15 miles per hour, keeping it comfortable. We're in the middle 70s across the metro. 76 El Reno, Watonga 76 degrees, 74 Oklahoma City, down I-35 Purcell, you're checking in at about 76 degrees, and current temperatures were ranging from 70 degrees out in the Panhandle all the way down to near 80 degrees towards Idabel. So a great evening if you want to get out, have any evening plans, dinner outside. It's going to be a great night to do that. And it's been no secret, we've been dry across much of the state. Drought expanding in the latest outlook that came out today, and that's leading to fire threats. That's what we're going to be talking about here over the next couple of days with some wind out there. We do have a red flag warning in the far northeast that runs until 8 p.m. this evening. And if you're not under one of those red flag warnings, still don't burn. We have burn bans issued by county commissioners pretty much in the eastern to central portion of the state. Cimarron County out in the Panhandle included as well in that. And here's our fire risk for tomorrow that expands into portions of central and northwestern Oklahoma. We'll likely see a red flag warning issued for some of these counties shaded in that beige color, that light orange color, but we're monitoring more rain chances, so that's the good news. We pick it up Saturday afternoon. We're dry for game time here in Norman, but then as we go Saturday evening into the overnight hours of your Sunday, we do have some rain showers starting to fire up along I-40. Those transition as we head Sunday morning towards the Red River and continue throughout Sunday morning. Here's lunchtime Sunday, and then fizzle out as we head throughout the afternoon hours. So how much rain are we talking? Not much in the way of rainfall. Maybe an inch if you're lucky in isolated spots along the Red River Valley. Here's your 7-day forecast. 82 degrees for your Friday, 87 for game day. There's that 60% chance of rain on your Sunday morning, but then the 60s return as we start next week. Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Coy. The state of Oklahoma is now joining the name, image, likeness movement at the high school level. OU Nightly's Jimmy Wicks has more on the story.
In the last 2 years, college football has been enamored with the name, image, and likeness. It's taken over the way that it is operated. Now it is coming to the high school level. This has allowed student athletes to receive compensation based on their NIL. Oklahoma is the 20th state to introduce name, image, and likeness for high school athletes. Mike Whaley of the Oklahoma Secondary School Activities Associations mentioned there might be some challenges still to overcome.
So we were trying to give our member schools and our students some ideas about things that would help them as they navigate through the name, image, and likeness. What our member schools were most concerned about had to do with how would this impact two of our rules.
The new proposed guidelines are in compliance with Rule 5 and 9. These rules state that athletes are not permitted to use a school name, logo, or mascot. Also, it does not depend on performance or as an incentive to stay enrolled at a specific school.
So as long as they're not using the as you can see from the guidelines, the school jersey or the school uniform or having the car commercial shot at the school 50-yard line on the football field. I mean, those are the things. What we were trying to do was to give our schools some guidelines.
Why the idea of NIL at the high school level is a new precedent, coaches like Lee Blankenship are enthusiastic about the new changes he can bring to his program.
It'll be interesting. I can promise you Mustang will be on the cutting edge of that, and always want to make sure we're just doing things the right way, not just the hurried way, and a way that's above reproach and respectful of the game. So that's what I'll tell you about that. But we're interested in it. We saw it for sure.
Oklahoma High School athletics is moving to another level just like the Sooners. Live from Gaylord Memorial Stadium, Jimmy Wicks, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Jimmy. And I heard OU football players aren't the only Sooners taking on Kansas this weekend.
Addison Arthur has all the details coming up in sports.
That's right, guys. Soccer is heading up north for a double matchup with Kansas and Kansas State. And an OU senior softball player was nominated for a big NCAA award. All this and more coming up next. I'm Addison Arthur, and it's time for sports. After Texas shut out the Sooners last Saturday, the team is preparing to play the Kansas Jayhawks, who've only lost one game this season. Kansas quarterback Jalen Daniels got hurt last week and is uncertain that he will return this week. But head coach Brent Venables says he believes Dylan Gabriel will be back on the field this Saturday and that he knows all eyes are on his team this weekend.
You know, there's a lot of people paying attention to all of us right now and how we're going to respond moving forward. And there's many people that, and justifiably so, that is like, man, you know, throwing in the towel. You know, that's fine. You know, that's part of, we have a responsibility in that. And like I said, you know, after the game, if we don't like what they're writing, then, you know, let our play be our voice.
On Wednesday, OU football unveiled their new jersey to honor Printon Scott, who was the first African-American to get a scholarship at Oklahoma. Director of Soul Mission and former linebacker Caleb Kelly explains the meaning behind it.
I'm so excited to present the Printon Scott Unity uniform, which is a player-led movement that's been developed over multiple generations of student athletes, where unity, togetherness, and a bond of brotherhood, sisterhoods of all student athletes of all different sports at the University of Oklahoma can spread their awareness of social injustices while maintaining the positive view of unity together.
OU soccer is looking to continue their successful season on the road this weekend. The team is heading north to the Sunflower State for two matchups. Tonight at 7 p.m., they will face the Rock Chalk Jayhawks in Lawrence, and on Sunday, they will be in the Little Apple against K-State at 1 p.m. Today, the Big 12 Conference released its 22-23 men's basketball preseason rankings. The Baylor Bears took the #1 spot for the second year in a row, topping Kansas, the reigning national champs. The Sooners were ranked #7 following Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. The NCAA announced today their top 30 honorees for their Woman of the Year award, and OU softball senior Grace Lyons made the list. She's the only softball student athlete in the top 30. Lyons was noted for her accomplishments on and off the field at Oklahoma. Guys, it is a good day when you're an OU softball fan. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Addison. After the break, Coy's going to give us our game day forecast.
I'm Morgan Martin at the OU Nightly Update Desk. A new report shows that hackers have stolen a record $3 billion in cryptocurrency so far this year. Analytic firm Chain Analysis confirmed that October has had the most activity in the biggest hacking year to date. This year has proven to be tough for crypto companies, many of whom have fallen victim to cyber theft. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Morgan. Now let's take one last look at our weather. Coy.
Yes, Bella, here's the game day forecast. If you are going to be cheering on the Sooners at Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium against the Kansas Jayhawks, we're expecting temperatures in the 80s, some partly cloudy skies. Here's the fall foliage report. We are seeing some low color in spots in Oklahoma thanks to the drought. And here's your 7-day forecast. Again, rain chance early Sunday morning, mainly in southern Oklahoma. Then the 60s return to the forecast. Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Coy, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Carolyn Felling.
And I'm Bella Roddy. Make sure to tune in weekdays at 4:30, filmed live from Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma. Good night.